So, hello and welcome to another 10v10 game. This one was pretty funny. It's gonna be another post-game commentary. Since I didn't manage to record it, I mean, I was recording, but the game was lagging badly and frame rate was just suffering from the amount of units. So I decided to do the post-game commentary on this one. In this one, we are playing against Vulcan, actually, on this side of the Twin Cities. Vulcan and Vector were against me. Yeah, playing 50, and they decide to do the funny. So I luckily do manage to path my units correctly. I started with regular couple of AMX-10s and then recon infantry with the recon vehicles. A couple of mortars, as I always do with this division, and some infantry to hold the line. Sadly, this guy surrendered, the functional generalist. Yeah, he surrendered at the start, so this was AI playing with me. But anyways, our recon manages to arrive there in time, despite the napalm and stuff, and they make this nice smoke screen. So he was playing the 157th Reservist Division. So this one's gonna be quite a long one, and I would suggest you grab something to drink and sit back, enjoy. Anyways, infantry comes in, AMX 10s, staying on the flanks to cover these roads, right? I was trying to, like, plan with these two was to flank on this side and do some major damage to AA and stuff. But then I saw this and how coordinated all of this was. So I just gave up on that. Mortars gonna be engaging this this reinforcement road. As my VAB gets in, we manage to cap the sector. Also, other thing, since we are doing the post-game commentary, I can just zoom in on the action, and appreciate the details during the match. AMX 30B gonna be supporting the MX 10 on this side, dealing with all these reservist units. Also, there was that 100 mil anti-tank cannon, which, like, I largely underestimated those units, and as you will see, they will prove to be a major problem for me in this one. So, just holding the line nicely, I did purchase the seed, and as expected by these guys, they are quite good at their radar micro, so that didn't quite work out, right? Also, I see that a bunch of stuff is firing from this position, like that 100 mil and AA gun, so mortars are gonna start engaging that tree line. Again, T-72 is arriving on their side, some heavier armor, you could say. When you're playing this division, you're gonna struggle against T-72s, really, The MX-30s are not the greatest. They are pretty decent at killing infantry. Actually, they are good at killing infantry with their autocannon. But against other tanks, not really, You're gonna struggle. So, nice infantry engagement here. We did have this M60 supporting us, but so many machine guns firing at once at the squads. It's rough, it's rough. RT comes in. I immediately start retreating, because, with all of this fire support advancing, just slowly walking towards us menacingly. Was funny, was a funny game though, got to admit. Yeah, AMX-30 is providing fire support, which they are great at. So, one thing I struggle here at the moment is the recon. Like, I do have all of these squads, and I can pick off the Maxims and, all of these T-54s and stuff out in the open. But I can't quite find them when they enter the buildings, and I just immediately gave up on pushing. since, you know, it is a reservist division, so he's gonna have a bunch of cheap stuff to deploy and hold the line with. So this is fairly expensive compared to this or this, for example, and this is a valuable unit even though it's a 4-man squad, same as this thing. So it's not worth throwing units, you know, for nothing, since we can't really clear out all of these reservist units. So my plan at this point was to just hold the line and repel their attacks, wait for some major build-up of tanks and infantry, and then push. T-54 struggling against my AMX-30B. Also these things, even though they are equipped with only 50 cal, they are quite good at holding off these Nikis. This flank quite exposed at the moment. I was afraid of him flanking and pushing through this way. These two AMX-10s just chilling, still. AMX-30s picking off endless infantry, endless reserve infantry, really. And this thing is gonna be the next target of the funny 100 mil, probably, or not yet. What do we have here? First artillery unit coming in. Reason why I purchased that is to pick off their squads when they enter the buildings. So since he was spamming cheap infantry, I was like, sure, I can just pick them off one by one when they enter each building and hold them off with these VAPs and AMXs and stuff. Also these things proved to be quite useful in this one, really, with their long range and recon. One of the best units in the game, in my opinion. So, mortar is gonna be engaging as the AI throws his M60s, sadly, and teammate tries flanking with the tanks and PVATs and whatever this thing is. I think ATGM carrier, right? So, I tried rotating this infantry to resupply them, but you know, French logistics are just nightmare, to be honest. If you ever played French, you'll know that, you know, this thing has 1,000 supply, this thing has 750. So it's quite rough, because then you constantly have to send stuff to the FOB and back, and it takes so much time and so much attention of the front line that you end up losing units over time, because you're managing your logistics. Usually when I play this division, I don't really buy a bunch of these AMX-30s, but since he was playing the reservist division and was bombing infantry at me, I realized these things have 30 mils, so I can just, you know, hold the line effectively. So, also, 2 artillery pieces hitting these buildings, as you can see, and that was what I was talking about earlier, like that was the plan. Once they enter the buildings and the fighting starts, I can just pick them off one by one. And this is really the best artillery piece in the game. It's uncontested at what it does, really. Closest thing is the 6th motor rifle thing with I forgot the name, really, but the big one that you get 4 of. I forgot the name, sorry. But yeah, this is really the best. As you can see, I immediately start targeting high value units. And there comes the T-54 Bob, which this guy struggles against. Vab's nicely holding off the infantry for now. 100 mil engages from this position. And there you can see the first Vector's artillery barrage hitting my position here. AI actually helped quite nicely to hold this side of the sector. So anyways, artillery comes in. I try saving what's possible, and they basically forced me to I'll give up this position for some time, like this tree line and this one and this building. Actually, there is no building anymore. So, anyways, also staving these guys because they are so cool. I hate losing them when I play. There's the such a versatile unit, can deal with infantry, can deal with tanks, can set up nice ambushes, scouts for you. Really not worth losing them. AMX-30 against T-54. French equipment struggling against 50s unit. It do be like that sometimes. Also, tanks providing support from this side. That was a nice kill actually by this AMX. Tanks providing support from this side, but immediately gets hit by 100 mil from somewhere. Like I said, it proved to be quite a menace. The 100 mil AT guns. Arty comes in, tries to deal with that, unsuccessfully. Here I waited for my guy to get a shot off and then smoke, so we can mess up some cohesion in this thing, and force him to fall back and repair. More recon arriving, more artillery arriving, I think, or actually more tanks. This time Brennus, I opted for the Brennus, because more front armor can deal with these T-72s. Dragon Pirate's in a really unforgiving position, at the moment. 100 mil. I tried to micro this guy behind this building, and then rushed him directly the 100 mil cannon, hoping it has a minimal range. Turns out it doesn't have a minimal range, that can just shoot point blank, sadly. But you learn something new every day. I failed to get the smoke off here and start engaging this position with the mortars since he was pushing in there. Or actually this guy was pushing in. AMX-30 again, gonna be dealing with the T-72M as my infantry struggles here. And as you can see, not much damage really in the front armor. Struggle is real. And 100 mils just keep walking towards us slowly. It was really funny watching all of this while I played. How he just moved all of his stuff slowly, menacingly, slowly pushed us out of the sector, really. I actually retreated my VAB command unit, not to lose it to all these Motschützen and stuff, so I can probably organize a counterattack later. I mean, that was the plan. You don't really want to lose your command unit. If retreat is possible, always go for retreat. M60s and all this reservist stuff, trying to hold off here. As my recon tries also retreating, Grant's retreating on this side. So basically we did what French do, retreated. Double Brennus pushing here, trying for some counterattack to deal with some of these units. And gets a nice hit on T-54. Also on this side, AMX stands attempting a flank. But Arc stopped to deal with all of this trash here. 100 mils luckily doesn't have much accuracy, except this one is triple up weapon. So yeah, that one slaps. Huge blob by this teammate. That's not something you want to do. You'll see why in a moment. I was actually quite surprised that they let these two AMXs stay here this long and not die. And yeah, Vector's artillery coming in. Or maybe Vulcans even, I don't know. I know there was three of them on this side. So, NATO stuff working together. Or trying to work together. Against all of these trash blobs. Nice view, nice view. These two is still picking off infantry out the open. More mortars arrived, so 6 in total, and I just randomly, yeah, good micro by them on those radars. I was just trying to randomly hit all of this area to stop these Brzezinnikis from entering these buildings, and support them with the AMX stands. I mean, support these guys, right? Well, once attempting a counterattack, this Brannis was trying to support that. As more AMXs arrive, these ones resupplying, and here we have triple VBL Milan. So, since I noticed that we are pushed out of the sector, I mean, I actually did get my command unit here to stop the bleed, but I noticed that we are getting pushed out of the sector. Also, the C died, unfortunately, and I decided to try and set up a defensive ATGM line in these positions, so if they try pushing further, we have something to stop them, you know, if all of this falls apart for any reason. Also, this was funny. So Vector's entire blob of SPWs with probably some reservist or something decides to just drive all this way. He unloads them, immediately routes my AMX-30, and he just keeps going, really. So I start running with this one. It does die to all of the RPGs. Sadly, this one somehow survives. This Brannis immediately gets into the position to try and stop this further. From pushing further, right? Mortar starts running back, artillery starts running back, because there is a blob of stuff pushing me. So, French armor, in the end, superior, manages to stop the column, but then we have a T-34 column. This guy is still running from all of the T-34s, and these two coming in on this side to deal with the rest of the stuff on the road. Just look at the French armor counter-attacking here, and all of the carnage on the road, really. Anyways, T-34s keep doing the funny. Keep getting picked off down the road. Leo 283 coming in. You'll have a field day with all of this. Yeah. Just look at the amount of smoke coming from one road, really. French armor also having a field day with this. I manually ordered these VBLs and AMX-10 HOTs to target the transports, and that was also pain. They should make it so that you can set that as the default option for the engagement in the main menu, really, so you don't have to do it all over again for every individual unit. But it is what it is for now. So, yeah. All of this falls apart. Absolute carnage on this side. It was so bad that my MX-10 ran out of ammo and VBLs and stuff. You know, I was at one point struggling to just resupply all of my stuff. But anyways, we do have a double command unit here, and the IS-2s are pushing. So I decided to retreat the VAP command again. I didn't really expect it to survive from this position, but you know, he did. So that was awesome. And again, French equipment, modern equipment, struggling against T-54. It's just how it is sometimes, really. Also, nice bombing run by this F-111. And there is the infantry squad from the start that was here. They did manage to survive and retreat, which was quite surprising. Sagae is gonna get a nice kill here. Or not. But you know, my man is basically playing Steel Division here. Just look at these IS-2s. We can't even look at them anymore. Also, T-72 push from this side, so it was nice that this guy actually gave me some breathing space and decided not to push this way, you know. All of my tanks and vehicles repairing here. And like I said, French logistics, man. French fucking logistics. Something is constantly at the FOB resupplying, and you know, all of this is almost empty now. And these guys are struggling to get resupplied. Since they did push us out of the sector, I decided to just shell this entire area with the mortars. To, you know, fight back a little bit, right? AMX-10 is gonna be trying to pick off some of these IS-2s on this side. And it was nice of this teammate to actually come here and help, since AI wasn't really helpful at this point of the game. So, more artillery coming in. The idea behind that much artillery is that it's gonna enable me to pick off these 100 mil anti-tank guns. Also, this was a close call. Vector was playing the KDA, so yeah, that's him doing his thing. So M60s, Lao 2s, AMX-10 is gonna be trying to provide some recon for these things. And there we go. Artillery starts aiming. Actually, I misclick. Yeah, that was the entire idea. Something got spotted, we delete that and proceed forward until the next target. Also, at this range, T-54 is relatively scary, you know. But I do try flanking again. We do manage to rout the IS-2. Luckily, there was no line of sight from these two tanks. So we do manage to get a nice kill here and escape, in fact. RT comes in, deletes that entire building. They can't hide if there is no cover to hide in, right? T-54's IS-2s pushing us again. Vector trying to... or he was actually hitting stuff. I do manage to evac my Brennus in time. But AI loses a bunch of stuff, sadly. Triple Blindée arriving, accompanied by this AMX-10. We'll be trying another counterattack. You know, if they played like heavier Soviet division that has T-80s and T-80s BVs and stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to do this. But since best thing they have is like T-55 or something, T-62, I felt confident in, you know, pushing with these Blindés and stuff, because when you're dealing with BVs, these things just get one-shotted from afar, because, you know, BVs have the 80 gems. But since they are reservists, you know, it was fine in this one. So you can see artillery trying to engage the 100 mil anti-tank guns. I was immediately smoking because I didn't want to take a chance, you know, of losing this thing. It's just too precious, if you ask me. So, you know, I just hate losing these. Another column of trash drives in. This was a panic smoke, but it's fine because we have armor here and here to hit them from the flank. Yeah, not having the greatest time, really. Amazing stuff. Yeah, basically a bunch of KD shoots getting deleted. Slowly though, because not enough autocannons on target. Jesus Christ, that was brutal to even watch. So this guy, again, trying to pick off stuff from afar, from the flank. That's how you play French, basically. You'll constantly try to flank and get creative with your strats. You can't frontally deal with people, as I said, with heavier divisions when you're French. So, AMX-30s, counter-attacking, double Brennus to support from this side. I was hoping that there would be a line of sight here to take out these two T-62s. These ones have a Bastion missile, which is quite nasty. Yeah, as you can see. But we do get a nice line of sight here to pick them off. And there comes the 100 mil AT, which I was struggling to spot here. This guy is still picking off stuff from this position, you know, despite artillery and everything. Again, 100 mil AT. Yeah, struggle was real against these things. Constantly having to smoke and get back repair. And he just has like a bunch of these, I assume. I actually haven't really played the new division yet, so I don't know, I can't tell you. Nice attempt at counter battery, but French artillery is quite fast, you know. Hard to hit. Also, this guy got hit once, I assume, and retreat. Dragon Paras here on return fire. Actually, they weren't. They were now. This is an amazing squad, really, since they do get the ground surveillance radar, and while they're stationary, they get the exceptional optics. I was hoping that they will enable me to spot these things and engage them with artillery. Didn't quite work out, sadly. So just basically rotating these tanks, hitting stuff one by one, spotting things, you know, engaging them with artillery. That was the strat against these guys. Mortars gonna be coming in here, and we will have some. We actually have a Gazelle coming in to help stop these armored pushes. That's a stat. Yeah, this thing is fucking rough. Dragon Paras are forgotten out in the open, sadly. Immediately, I start engaging him with mortars. I just hated this thing so much for killing my, you know, the super cool thing here. And you only get like 3 of these, you know, so it hurts when you lose one. So, mortar is gonna be firing shortly. Also, the game decided to stop rendering these projectiles for some reason. Yeah, MX10 still advancing on this side. This was super close. Sadly, that RT, whatever that is quite inaccurate, which gave my guys a chance to escape, really. Yeah. Immediately Pumas landing to repair and resupply. Basically these Blindées, Brenuses, whatever, spread across the front line, just waiting to try and organize some push or wait for them to attack at this point. And it is very difficult attacking against cheap stuff, you know, like he can afford to lose these because they're cheap. When I lose these guys, it hurts. It really does, you know. It's not a cheap squad. So Dragon Paras spotting stuff again 100 mil here. RT landing immediately and moving so we don't get counter-arted. So quite peaceful for now. We do have some infantry coming in. Also, I noticed that they didn't use their air tap too much. So this is the first Roland 2 I purchased, really. There was no air threat from these guys, and I couldn't do any air because, he was just microing his troops too well. So I couldn't kill anything with this Jaguar. Um, Infantry coming in, 2 squads of infantry, and we do have one chilling in here. Arty landing on these 200 mils. And we do have mortars coming in to start firing to this guy single-handedly dealing with all of the reservist stuff at the moment. I did actually cancel this mortar barrage since this was quite enough. These 4 artillery pieces to dislodge this. As you can see, they did stop firing, so it was fine. Next objective was to take out this recon to make them blind. And you can see smoke coming in here from these mortars. Infantry is gonna start pushing immediately. I was hoping to, organize a nice counterattack in this corner and try advancing from here, since I did have all of my tanks and recon vehicles ready and repaired. I did also have this guy and the Mistral to cover me from the air threat, so I was feeling pretty confident at this point to just, rush in here. Also, this thing, the VAB that retreated like 5 times already, is coming back to contest the sector. Infantry unloads, start pushing. Brennus moving in to support AMX-10 RC. These 2 AMX-30s also moving in to provide support for this infantry. Gazelle arrived here, so I was hoping to pick off some of these IS-2s and stuff. That was a painful misplay there. I think he did manage to live here though. Not sure, honestly. And here we have a nice infantry engagement through the smoke, as my armor provides support from this flank. I was though willing to sacrifice these VAPs and stuff, to just provide some fire support at least for my infantry, so we can dislodge these enemy units in this corner and get a foothold in this sector to enable this VAP command to contest. Also, 100 mils hitting this guy again. This was almost bad because this RPG, right? Luckily they missed. But they did force my VAB out of the sector, and there comes the artillery. Standard backed shenanigans, really. Luckily it wasn't an entire salvo. Again, anti-aircraft guns engaging my armor. High explosive bombing run coming in. Hits my command unit, actually. Yeah, that was a nasty hit. These tanks are gonna just keep dislodging this infantry with the autocannons. And massive amounts of infantry coming in. Artillery is gonna start engaging across the entire sector. I kept my mortars silent because I couldn't afford to micromanage everything, I'm just not that good at the game, really. Also, I tried to rotate these Dragon Paras not to lose them, because they are such a valuable squad. And the other thing with these French tanks is that even though they are upwetted, sometimes they just keep missing. I'm pretty sure they don't have the stabilizers, or it's just the MX-10 maybe, but like, I'm not sure about these guys. But over time, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like using them in my other games. As with the 50, I usually play this division more like a somewhat mechanized infantry division or something like that. simply because the tanks are so bad at killing other tanks. Again, another attempt at counter battery. Doesn't go well. And these guys actually managed to live. AMX-30 trying to find that Strela. And these guys just wait at the moment. So since the command unit died, I was waiting for the teammates to provide one. Took a while, really. But here it comes. This is actually an AI. So, dealing with these military police units is also important when you play against the reservists. Simply because, like, if you kill the military police, then they can't undebuff their stuff. So it's just trash. So, still, artillery working overtime, trying to hit these positions in the tree lines. AI's command unit landing. Also, AI actually provided 2 command units. Damn, I didn't notice that. Well, good job AI, I guess. So, we immediately run from the firing position because, you know, they proved to be quite willing to counter battery, even though they missed like 5 times already. T-72s, this one got targeted nicely by this Blindée. Sadly, it doesn't die, I think. Or it does, actually. Good kill. I do manage to smoke this guy off just before the T-72 fires another shot, so he does manage to live. Also, this Gazelle just chilling on this left flank, trying to prevent any enemy armored push, for example these IS-2s, from pushing this way. But I do, at this point, decide to just rotate it this way to deal with the T-72s instead, because they were a much bigger threat. Also, Vector's napalm's landing in the gun. Luckily misses my grunts. And the MX stands again trying to push forward, provide recon, and pick off these reserve units from afar, really. Now, I did purchase 4 squads of commandos, and I'm just gonna spoil it, really. They didn't really see any combat until the end of the game, sadly. Simply because, like, there was no perspective of landing them anywhere here, because too many AA guns, and, you know, it was just too risky. And then he would just fire his funny artillery or napalm at them, so there was no point. That was a waste of points, really. I do purchase my entire air tab at this point, hoping that I will be able to use it once. Again, didn't see much combat, simply because so many AA units in the back and they were mitring them effectively. So these would just die to all the clips and stuff. They did manage to deal with all of our command units, and artillery is gonna be working again, trying to hit this road, hit the tanks and BMPs that are stationed here. Also, Schmel was a problem, and AMX-30 comes in, doesn't last long because 100 mil, funny 100 mil cannon, right? So he's forced to get out of the sector again. Brennus on this side, same thing, trying to fire support, but, you know, T-62M with the Bastion ATGM doesn't really leave much chance to, you know. It was a nice fight, but there were 4 more of these, so, you know, not worth. Right, and he gets stunned. Explosive bombing comes in, I try to smoke this guy. But, you know, just gonna get deleted like that. Gazelle, meanwhile, picking off some of these BMPs, as the another Brennus pushes up to deal with these Prizivnikis that were pushing me on the right-hand side. AMX tanks rotating back to resupply, also command tank chilling back, waiting to get resupplied. As the friendly artillery comes in, though, I haven't noticed this when I played. Maybe because it was lagging so badly. But again, as you can see, they can just afford to send column after column of cheap stuff and reinforce, whereas my stuff is expensive. There, you know, I have to trade favorably. Artillery, sorry, again hitting targets across the sector. Basically, all of these buildings, as you can see, the infantry and machine guns and stuff to dislodge their defensive positions. Mortar silent for now. Again, I can't micro that much stuff. And at this point, triple Roland. So I did notice that they were bombing me here and here. So I was afraid that they're gonna try pushing across this field and using air support. And I had to invest into a bunch of Rolands to secure that doesn't happen. Mortars also gonna open up now. Just look at that. All of the smoke and flames in the back as their counter battery comes in. Too late. Just look at all the projectiles flying overhead. And yet again, French retreating as usual. Retreating, rotating back to resupply. These two pushing back, sorry, holding back to resupply, and then AMX stands pushing back to replace them and, you know, hold the lines against endless endless ship spam. Really, I did push them this way since I did have two of these AMX 10 hots here in this VBL to hold this part. And as you can see, they are engaging the SPW-70s simply because, you know, I manually ordered them to fire at the transport. I couldn't really let them to build up a bunch of these SPWs, so they can use them to screen for all T-62s with the Bastions. That would be awful experience, really. Also, another teammate that was helping me surrenders, sadly. And that gives them a +4. Stable +4. 17 minutes really left. My armor is gonna be trying to stop this mechanized push on the left flank. As AI just blocks his stuff on this side for some reason. RT trying to gauge targets across the sector again. Also, I decided to buff these two with the command AMX, just to increase accuracy and, you know, reliably pick off this stuff. Was that a kill though? Oh, it was a kill actually. That's nice. A bit unexpected there. Oh, another side shot. Sadly, I don't manage to micro that in time and now lose another AMX-10. Valuable AMX-10. T-62M. I mean, this is a Pot 2 missile, so quite a scary missile, really. You don't want to mess with this thing. Also, game isn't really rendering projectiles right now, but we are hitting stuff. So Milan 2 gonna be engaging this thing. Is that a hit though? Not really. RT again. Working overtime. Hitting all of the stationary stuff. I mean, this is an MTLB, but still. Anything that dies is fine. So Blindée gonna be pushing to try to provide some support alongside the command AMX. And we do get a nice kill on the T-62M. More AMXs pushing forward. This guy was forgotten about, sadly. Can't really manage everything. I did spot an Ossa, so immediately, artillery coming in. And you see, he can basically just use the infantry to screen for the T-62s with 80 gems, because it takes a while for the tanks to kill these at max range. And meanwhile, like, units like this Mi-24 can kill your tanks with 80 gems while you're dealing with this. So that's the strat that many packed players use, especially the KDA players, from my experience. At this point, I'm struggling to deal with this Mi-24. I do have like, yeah, there comes cluster artillery. I do have like 4 of these Rolands, but I was just afraid to. Oh, that was sad. I was just afraid to send them forwards because, you know, all of these things. And out in the open ground, AMX stands are gonna lose to this simply because of the lack of range against that ATGM. Luckily, there is the funniest ATGM in the game present here. So all is good, all is good. Still, enemy team at +4, 2 minutes left. RT hits this, deletes my VBL Milan, sadly. Yeah, rough. So, you know, we managed to hold them. I had to concede this position simply because too much stuff was against me. But in the end, it was a nice game, very nice armored game, in fact. I would like that the 9th armored 9th Panzer Division, sorry, player engaged a bit more on this side, so we can have some proper tank against tank combat, not just, you know, killing reservist stuff. But it is what it is. It was fun. It was fun, funny in fact. Just look at all the dead stuff here down this road. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and then random AMX-30 burning there. This reminds me of like this road specifically, of the games I played against Wargame Red Dragon AI. That's how they behave for the most part. So Jaguar Seed coming in, trying to hit something, gets hit instead. You know, painful, painful. NATO struggles. More Dragon Paras arriving. Mortar's gonna be moving up. This was another attempt, as you can see, at counterattacking, sadly, but there was no time left. And other thing is, like, my only capable command unit was here buffing the artillery. And I forgot to purchase a second command tank. So, you know, this really wasn't anything special. I just tried to utilize these commanders for a moment. Also, MiG-25 RBF coming in for the explosive airstrike. And yeah, nasty airstrike really. My mortars coming in, getting hit, sorry. In the meantime, they managed to kill 2 of them with the same aircraft. BBL still struggling to hold these T-62Ms at the bay. Commandos landing in the meantime. As the game slowly approaches to the end. 14 seconds left. Commandos pushing in through the smoke hopelessly. And that will be the game. Really, really funny Zerg Rush game. I mean, KD was okay, but it was a loss. So still a good game. Good game. I just want to check the kills really. Yeah, AMX and RC killed a bunch of stuff, and then artillery really killed a lot really. Another one. Then Brennus, Jesus Christ, look at the Brennus. Yeah. Anyways, as always, GG and well played, everyone.